Minecraft SMPs are in an interesting place right now. We're at a point where most SMP servers are basic clones of one another. Lifesteal alone probably has several hundred or even thousands of copies. If you go on some server lists looking for SMPs, you're gonna find dozens of results all offering the same experience, and sometimes larger servers don't even have the advertised game mode. It makes me kinda sad to see the state that the survival multiplayer community is in right now, so I decided that I should probably make my own server. I don't have a name for it yet, but I have a lot of ideas, so welcome to episode 1 of the Devlog series. So the question that we need to answer first is, what kind of game do I want to make? I've got a lot of ideas, but I think it would be best to get organized right away. Okay, so feature 1, space. Space is by far the thing that I want to do the most. I've seen videos, I don't remember who did it, I'll show them on the screen right now, but there's somebody on YouTube who's built massive space builds in Minecraft, and they're just incredible. I've always loved space, that's why my name is Luna Eclipse, and if you've been on the server at all, you know that there's a fair bit of references to space things. So space is absolutely one of the main things that I want to do. We're not going to base it off of any one galaxy. Instead, we're probably just going to have a bunch of assorted planets that I feel like making over the course of this series. But I think it would be really cool to just do my own version of space. Now, we are not going to have it be sci-fi themed. There are plenty of space sci-fi servers out there. I highly recommend the server Celestial Expanse. It is my favorite one that I've seen so far. But so instead, we're going to focus more on fantasy. What I mean by that is thing number 2. Rideable Ender Dragons. So instead of spaceships, which we're going to have Ender Dragons instead, you're going to have to go to the end, defeat the Ender Dragon, and collect the dragon egg in order to be able to ride a dragon into space. Now, there's a few things that we'll need to solve with that, and I've got some ideas. I'm not going to write them down on this board because they're fairly minor, but here we go. First of all, we're going to need to reset the end. I'm probably going to install a plugin that resets the end on every server restart. That way you will always be able to go get more stuff from the end dimension if needed. Thing number 2, we are removing the elytra. I know that's kind of sad. I love the elytra myself, but that's gonna become more noticeable with a few points further on down the line why we're removing it. But the main reason for space and riding Ender Dragons and why we're removing the elytra, if I make it to where you ride the dragon up into space, then having the elytra and not being able to get to space using that is really not going to make that much sense. So from like a lore perspective, I think riding the Ender Dragon should be the best transport that you can find. Which brings me on to probably thing number 3. What should thing number 3 be? Well, thing number 3 should probably be custom planets. I've got some written down. I'll tell you some right now. We've got the overworld, Nether End as expected. Nether and End are going to stay as dimensions that you access through the overworld. But other planets I want to do include like some kind of ice world where everything's kind of frozen. I want to do a underwater world kind of inspired from the one planet from Interstellar. I really want to do one planet that orbits a black hole and it's going to be the most dangerous planet. I think that would be really fun to make. And I've got several others. We're also going to do some moons, things like that. Now, why do we want to go explore the other planets? That's a great question. Brings me on to thing number one. Custom, I can spell, custom blocks. Now, I'm in a single player world at the moment. I can't really show you custom blocks in this video. You'll see some in future videos, but for right now, if you join Lunar Parks and you go explore the amusement park, links to both the server and the description will, both the server and the Discord will be in the description below. But if you go explore the amusement park, you're going to find a whole lot of custom blocks. They make up a fair bit of the server. We're going to have a lot of those. Now, it's going to have some limitations. The way we're going to do it is all of them are going to be retextured note blocks. It's going to be a brand new texture, so like if you break a block or place a block, break a block, anything that gives it a block update, you'll know it's not like an actual block. But it will give us access to something along the lines of 800 custom blocks. And that's even more if I do other cool things, like have small blocks or transparent blocks. So 800 blocks just includes solid blocks like this, which is going to be great. We're going to have all sorts of custom blocks on all of the different planets. So if you want to see some custom blocks, feel free to join the Discord and give me some ideas. Anyway, that's not all that's going to be on the planets. Another thing I really want to do, gonna rewrite that. Custom mobs. I think it would be really cool to get the plugin model engine and do a whole bunch of custom mobs with that. That might be really fun. I've never used it before. I honestly don't know if that's what we're gonna go with, but we're going to find out. And then, well, custom mobs need to drop things, so maybe things like custom items would be fun. I don't know what all the items are going to be yet. I can show you some if I grab myself a book. I've gotten some of this done. You'll see more of it later. But if I go item modify, you can see a bunch that I've done. Now this system is very unfinished, and this is going to be its own episode later on. But if I get the arrow one, where is it? Here we go. If I can spell. Huzzah! Get attacked by an arrow. I should maybe make this one slightly better. Spells are going to be a fun item to have, so we should probably also add that. Here. We're going to have a whole magic system. The way it's going to work is you're going to have books that you can then get some kind of crystal. Let me grab a crystal real quick. I think that one would be better. So on the planets, you'll find crystals like this. It'll be a completely different texture and a completely different item. And then somehow you'll grab your book and you'll combine it together, and then you'll get a spell that lets you do this. And you can combine multiple spells. So if I wanted to, I could combine the arrow crystal with maybe the levitation crystal and go oh, that's not the book. Haha! Get arrowed and I fly away. We're gonna have a bunch of cool magic things like that. Let's see, we need some other things too, so perhaps custom weapons? And maybe some custom tools. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that. I've got a few options. I can either make a bunch of crafting recipes and all of the items and tools will do slightly different things. That's certainly one option. Or we could have maybe you've got your sword and you've got how you want it to go, and then oh, somebody else has a sickle or some other fancy weapon and you really want that too. Well, maybe you can just find well, actually, hang on. Maybe instead of like an armor trim or something, you have something that goes on your weapon and just changes the look of it. If you've played Vault Hunters, it's kind of like how when you discover a new kind of transmog, you can just apply it to your tools and armor that way instead of having all of them do something slightly different. That's certainly an option. I don't know if we're going to go with that, but we will find out later on down the line. Now, one thing that I really do want to do is work on things that, like in vanilla Minecraft, that just maybe don't work as well as they probably should. Like, even though, like, they're in the vanilla game, like, we're trying to keep some of the basic ideas of Minecraft. We're going to have it be mostly sandbox themed. Aside from a little bit of story, there's not going to be any direct path, and there's not going to be anything that, like, you have to do as the player. A lot of servers focus on PvP for stories. I think it would be better to just have PvP enabled, but not make it part of the main game, so people can fight if they want to, and if not, it's not the point of the server. But one of the things that I really do want to fix, because I'm not really fond of how they work, are enchantments, which I can't put on a sign. I love this game so much. I've played this game nonstop since pretty much 1.8 came out. But enchantments suck. I'm sorry, Mojang. They are not a good system as they are right now. There's a lot of things that I don't really like about them. First of all, you've probably heard it 100 times. I don't think minting's really that good for the game. It's kind of overpowered. And actually, like, I feel a lot of that. Oh, like, that goes for a lot of other enchantments too. Like, you're at the end of the game. You've got protection armor, you've got sharpness sword, you've got all of the enchantments that everybody uses because they are just definitively the best enchantments. I really don't like that, I'm gonna be honest. So I really want to do custom enchantments, like, and a lot of them. I don't know if you're gonna get them through like the enchanting table or finding them on books or whatever. We're gonna work on that as we get to that, but enchantments need to be updated. So, what I'm thinking is we're gonna have a bunch of like smaller enchantments, like maybe you've got a sword that does bleach, but it can no longer do like specialized damage, or maybe you've got an enchantment that like smite or bane of arthropods. We're gonna have more of those probably, except also more overpowered. But then you can't use other things like leeching on it, or like maybe if we have like a freeze or a stun enchantment. Basically, we need a lot of enchantments that are all really good and players want, but that they cannot be used on the same item. So you're going to need to really decide how you want to enchant your things, and maybe you'll have multiple sets of tools and weapons and armor for different situations. I think that's going to be really cool to have, so I really want to focus on that. Now, let's see, what else do we want? Um, I'm going to start over here. Seasons would be really fun. I know that a lot of other places have seasons that like majorly affect the gameplay, but I just think that having like more cosmetic changes, like maybe leaves change color, maybe there's a bit of snow, perhaps food's a little slower to grow, maybe certain animals spawn more frequently in some seasons than others, and maybe things like shooting stars up in the sky, or if I can figure it out, maybe an aurora borealis might be really cool to have. Let's see, what else do we need? I think that's covering most of it. The main things that I really want to focus on are space and then all the like custom blocks and whatnot that we can add through items adder. Like, I really think this is going to be a good opportunity to add in a whole bunch of things that maybe we wouldn't otherwise get. Add in new blocks that might be harder to find, or Mojang might never add. Where am I going with this? I'm not really sure. Like what else? Like I'm sure this isn't a complete list. Maybe some of this won't be added. I don't know. But space is absolutely the most important thing. We are going to be focusing on fantasy. I think that's another really important thing. And like the goal of it, we're going to follow Mojang's game design philosophy to the best that we can. And it's safe to say that the community maybe hasn't been the most fond of recent updates, so perhaps we can look through suggestions and what people didn't like about previous updates to help us decide what we should do for this survival world. We can also look through the suggestions page of like just general ideas. I know there's a lot of ideas on the suggestions page that Mojang's probably never gonna add, and some probably for very good reasons, others for reasons that probably fit Minecraft more specifically as a whole. But we can still go look through it and see what other people have come up with and whether or not any of that would be a good fit for inner parks and the SMP that we're making. So, before I end this video, I do want to show you a few other things. You've seen the arrow and the levitation spell. Right? Gonna show you a few others. We've got a sonic boom, which is really fun. Let's see, what are some other cool ones that we have? Here we go. Let's add some speed. And we've got some speed, and this will be like a good use of spells that are good to combine together. Instead of having like one speed book and another invisibility book or something, you can just combine them. And then, yeah, you're invisible and you're running away. Maybe that's not quite enough. So, like, you find another crystal that you add to your book that's like, maybe you find a short range teleport book and it teleports you away, turns you invisible, and you can run away to safety. Maybe the short range teleport's not enough for you, so you add, maybe you have invisibility and the red snowball one. You can go yeet, and like maybe they can track the snowball, but you can always just jump off and go somewhere else. Let's see, do I have any on this book? I don't have any on this book. What other spells do we have so far? Let's see. Maybe you're fighting and you have a potion effect one and you just want to like move around, try and confuse players. Maybe you're at a distance and you want to keep them from getting any closer. You can teleport or you can eat some TNT at them. Maybe that's not enough. Maybe you go to the nether and you find a more overpowered spell and you just like throw fireballs at them. Maybe that's not overpowered. I probably need to work on that a bit more. I want to do some others too. I've got some commands over here that I'm working on that's like spawns a soul fire, like a massive one that just reaches super high up into the sky and it's going to be like some kind of anime sky beam coming down on players. I think that'll be really cool. Maybe just gonna grab some new books. Maybe you're out mining and you want some torches. You can just place down torches anywhere. Oh, but maybe mining's a little bit too slow. The torches are great, but you need to mine a little faster. Maybe this isn't faster, but like you get the point. Still a little slow. We can add. Maybe we found a reduced cooldown one. Let's just cast it a whole lot faster. This will probably be at the cost of significantly more mana, which is something I haven't implemented yet, but that's going to be a topic for another video. I think Magic's going to be really cool. I'm excited to expand on that system a whole lot more. So if you've got any cool ideas for that, let me know. And before we leave the video, I've got one more thing. You might be thinking, wow, is the spells all I've really got to show for this? And, well, it's not. Let's see. To go with custom mobs, I'm gonna rework this into probably mythic mobs. But, like, we all know phantoms suck. Yeah, they spawn with mobs on them. And, like, if I go fly by them, so, like, if they fly down at you, they'll drop the mobs and you have to go attack them. Like, if I pop in survival mode here, they're gonna start chasing me. In theory. Come get me, phantoms. Huh, there you go. It's like the creeper one, like, creeper's gonna get dropped off, and then the phantoms can pick you up and carry you instead of attack you. This is released as a data pack, you can go download it right now. But I want to try and improve some of the mobs like this. I think these are a lot more fun now. So it's this kind of general thing that I'm hoping to improve on. So I've got one more thing I'm going to show you. This is this isn't something that I've really experimented with myself much yet, so all of this is just how it exists in the plugin right now. But you might be wondering to yourself, is this really like feasible? Is a universe of planets with custom blocks and whatnot like even possible in vanilla Minecraft? Well, it doesn't work with custom blocks yet, as I still need to make them and like properly implement them into the game, but let's head over to another world where I can show you custom terrain for the custom planets. Alright, now before I start showing you the custom terrain, I want you to keep in mind that this is on a pretty basic server. There's not much going on for this server. It's pretty weak. So it's going to be pretty slow loading the terrain in this video. It's going to be a whole lot faster on the actual server. Like render distance is going to suck in this video for right now, but it's also going to be a whole lot better on the actual server. So with that, let's take a look at the new terrain that we can do. This is just the default world generator for the Terra plugin. We're going to be using this one and a whole lot of others to make the custom planets, and there's a very good chance I'm going to have to make a whole lot of custom ones too. You can see the terrain's kind of pretty slow. It's going to be a fair bit faster on the main server. But you can see some of the cool things that this can do. I don't know if this specific pack adjusts caves at all. If we go over here, got some pretty looking mesa stuff. I'm pretty sure, oh, there's a village. I didn't even see this village. That's cool. Speaking of which, I also want to do custom structures. Probably going to overhaul a bunch of them, and we're going to add a whole lot more too. So stay tuned for that in future updates. And some of them can use custom blocks. When I do the ones that use a plugin, we can use custom blocks and things added through items that are in those. But like more larger ones, like procedurally generating structures, like certain kinds of dungeons and villages, like this. Because they use jigsaw blocks, these will not have custom blocks, sadly. This is a pretty cool looking village, I think. This would be a nice place for these villagers to live. Got some cool mountains over here. This looks pretty cool. Didn't even see this when I was flying around earlier. This is nice, I like this. No, that's not shipwreck. This river is pretty cool. This is one of many things I can do with it, so let's quickly hop into another. Let's see, what do I have access to again? Let's just do this one. I really like this one. I'm going to need to tweak this one a lot. To fit the survival world, we're going to have a lot of custom blocks and a lot of the new planets, but I really want to use this one as a start for one of the custom planets. This is really pretty. The person who developed this did such an amazing job. I just absolutely love it. I can't even properly show it off because of the server being not that great. Oh, those are cool. I can get ores into rocks. Like, imagine you're flying around space and you see this really pretty looking nice planet, and you fly down into it and you see this. Wouldn't this be cool? Wonder if the custom sky looks like at night. It just look like regular midnight, yeah. It's cool that they've got like some degree of a custom skybox. Or is it just because I have night vision? Oh, I don't have night vision. That's cool. Not quite sure how I'm gonna how you do that with Terra, but that'll be cool to play around with. I wish I could do custom night skyboxes, like have new stars and whatnot. That would be really cool. Let's see. What other ones can we go to? This one should be fairly similar to the first one, in theory. Yeah, kinda. I might have to cut this review short just because of the server struggling a little bit. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, oh, there's a little bit more going on over here. Just a little mountain. Maybe some over here. Oh, that is really cool. I really like that. I'm excited to play around with these on a more powerful server at a later time. Yeah, this is really pretty. I like it a lot. Worlds like the Ocean World and the Forgotten Planet, which I mentioned earlier in this video, I'm probably going to need to do a lot myself, like make my own Terra packs for that. Like, just look at the kind of things that you can do with it. I think this is absolutely going to be the best way to go. Like, it's incredible already. Minus the slow chunks. Again, it'll be faster on the main server. Got a little bit of the red desert going on here. What do we have over here? Got some yellow. Maybe I really chunks? No, not really. Terrain generation will be slower than a regular Minecraft world, just because of how much more it has to do. Like, look at it. Isn't this the kind of thing that you want to play in? This is really cool. I haven't like fully seen this yet. Haven't really flown around much. Gonna cut back once more of the terrain loads. I like this. This one does the caves. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Let's see. That's really pretty. Like I'm kind of undecided on whether or not this pack or the first pack I showed in the video should be used for the main starting planet because they're just both really good. Got anything else cool underground? Oh, this is interesting. This looks like a really cool place for like a boss of some kind. I wonder if these are just structures that they placed in or what. What else do we have? Got the main cave. Not this Grand Canyon looking thing, which I really like. This is really cool. Like over here. Anyway, that's gonna about do it for this first devlog. We've established the things that I want to do over the course of this series, and I'm really hoping that you stick around. Oh, what's that behind me? Cool. Oh wait, is this gonna be an arch? I was gonna say that's a cool spire. If I go try and load some more chunks over here. I really like that. That's really cool. Loading the rest of the arch here. I think that's just incredible to look at. Really excited to play around with this plugin a whole lot more later. What if there's anything cool underground here? Fairly big cave. Oh, this must be a trail ruin. That's cool. This is pretty. Oh, this pack's own version of Lush Cave here. Very lush. This is kind of reminding me of like the one of the tunnels from Terra Soup Force a little bit. Oh, this place is gonna be dangerous. How dark is this? Wow, this is gonna be dangerous to explore. Is there a trick there, I think? Or is this a new one? That's just like some kind of spire. A chunk. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, that's gonna about do it for today's video. I'm really excited to continue this series, so if you enjoyed, be sure to like. Consider joining the Discord in the description below. I'm gonna post more updates there more frequently than on here. And with that, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!